On the streets, it was very difficult. So having binnies at that point help pick up the pieces was really important for me, because get on the streets, you get robbed every night, every day. And it might be difficult for a normal person to understand how you go from being a functioning member in society to being that needy every day, and you don't know how to ask someone for help. It's hard to beg, and I had to learn how to do all these things. Towards the end, I did feel cold, and I did feel hungry too often, and traumatised, and I was still getting robbed, and these things were still happening. So I felt I had nowhere to stand, and it was almost like an end to how I felt I could keep going, because I had this motto, never give in and never give up. And people at the volunteering, like at Vinnie's, not just always help me with the little things like the vouchers for food and those sorts of things, blankets, whenever mine were robbed, and that was countless times I had to ask for them. Always with a smile, never judged me and understood it. And of course, there were many times where I maybe have gone in too much, but they never really made me feel that way, even though there were policies. I know I needed the food and I needed the blankets, but it was this ear I always had. And the smile that was genuine in the Vinnie's room, that I'll never forget that. Because that was the most important thing, was that I could feel that heart and that goodness, because there's no point being in a room where there's all these people saying we're going to help you and you've got all this support, but you don't feel it and you don't get it. And that was another reason I was on the street for a really long time, because the system can fail you because you're bottlenecked with 100 other people. It's like going to see a room for rent. You're in a line full of 50 people and there's a real estate agent. At a homeless hub, you're there with 80 other homeless people and there's 7 volunteers. You see, so it's a similar sort of thing, and you're not always heard, and they're all hearing the same sort of thing. We all have the same story. And there can be cracks in that system where you get left, pending, not heard, not seen, or we're all invisible. There's nothing nice about homelessness, but I want to just say in respect to those that are on drugs and drunk on the street that are homeless, that I don't feel the community should give up on people like that, because that's why they are like that, because they've been given up on and they know it. So imagine if society gave up on you and you knew it. I think you should be grateful they don't do other things, because you should be fighting for your life harder. And so other homeless people might cheer on one that's decided to give it all they've got today. If you could imagine being in that atmosphere, So I didn't always like hearing the yelling or the swearing, and it's not nice. No one wants to hear it. It shouldn't happen around children. But these people are screaming out for help. They really just never been heard. The more good people in volunteering organisations who can pluck everyone off the street, because we all have the right to a home. Every person, no matter whether we're drugged out, smacked out, blacked out, because I think the biggest problem is falling under the umbrella of not being houseable. Well, how does that happen? Which is an excuse I used to hear a lot about people who were houseable, that they said weren't, because they had given up on them years ago. And so they're looking at reactions to that. And that's where I say, I really felt the heart when I went to Vinnie's to get help, because it wasn't just that physical and the needy things I had. It was a genuine heart and genuine ears who listened so well that I could see they were just as angry as I was, and it was personal, because they felt for me, but that didn't happen anywhere else. Wasn't ever heard.